Yes, we are back to Case Battle Fridays, man. This is a series that I started months ago, kind of left it alone, but I went back and looked at it. I was like, you know what, man? People like these case battles. So let's go ahead and start it back up, man. So you can expect a new case battle every Friday, hopefully into the iPhone 15 launches. And guess what? We'll start doing them again. But today we got a battle of the thin cases. All my minimalist lovers out there, you have been asking for this case battle. I don't know why I'm jumping up and down, but this is going to be against the Benks Armor Air versus the Pitaka MagEZ 3, which has always been probably the best thin case out there on the market. But can it stack up against the Benks and go ahead and keep that crown? Because Benks has been bringing the heat lately when it comes to cases. Now, going to be a few categories that we're going to be judging this off of. There's a few things that we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about the fit, the MagSafe strength, the price, the protection, and the options that you can get with these two cases. So let's not go ahead and waste any time. First thing we're going to do is go ahead and weigh these bad boys. I know a lot of you, when it comes to these thin cases, you need to know what the weight is, all right? Now, I don't know if you want to call this a category. I already know who's going to win this one right here. So when it comes to the Benks case, you're going to be looking at 35 grams. And when it comes to the Pitaka case, I already know this one's going to be a little bit lighter. You can already feel it in your hand. This is going to be 30 grams, all right? So the Pitaka is going to be lighter if that's something that you really care about when it comes to your thin minimalist style case. Now, let's go ahead and start off with the fit, because we already know with cases like this, these thin cases, you got to make sure that fit is on point, because sometimes fit can be a little bit sloppy when it comes to these minimalist style cases. So let's just go ahead and slide. Well, actually, before we get talking about that, let's go ahead and talk about the construction of both of these. Both of these cases are going to be having your 600D Kevlar fiber. So that's one thing you definitely need to know. Very similar with the materials on how they are made. Now, when it comes to the inner workings of how everything is weaved, look, I don't know all that, man. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a person who put these cases together. But let's just go ahead and talk about the fit of each case. So let's set the Pitaka over here, and let's just talk about how this case actually fit in the phone. So you're not going to get any movement. That's one thing that I say that's real big when it comes to these thin cases. Sometimes you can get a little bit of wiggle when they're inside your case. You're not getting any of that when it comes to the Benks. Now, how easier or how easy it is to remove the case. That's the main thing when I'm talking about when we're talking about fit. So pop it off the corners here. All right, you got to pry here and you got to pry there, and you can kind of, pop it out fairly good. Now, this case is up there extremely tight. You might have to struggle a little bit to take this case off, but I feel like it doesn't have too bad of a struggle to get it off. So when it comes to the Benks Armor Air, yeah, that tightness is there when you're talking about the case. Do it, say it in the comments. I know you immature ones are going to say it, man, but the tightness is there. So the fit is on point when it comes to the Benks. Now, checking out the Pitaka, also 600D, but in the Pitaka, you got a few things exposed, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on when we are talking about the protection. But let's get this off, because something is blocking it from actually fitting right. So let me make sure this thing is on there, dude, because something was like, wait a minute, I'm not cooperating. Okay, is this for this is for an older version iPhone. Hey, look, your boy has a bunch of cases in here, all right? I may make the mistake. I could have picked up an old version, all right? So let's just do the Fusion Weave version, since I know this one is going to fit. So there we go. This is going to be the Fusion Weave Pitaka case right here. So it goes on very easy. Maybe I feel like it goes on a little bit easier than the Benks, and that's always a good thing, because you never want to struggle to get your case in and out. So when we are talking about the actual fit of this, it comes off definitely a lot easier. Now, is that a plus? Is that a minus in my opinion? I want my slim case to fit a little bit tighter. I'm not sure about you. I want my slim case to be a little bit of a struggle to get off, because if I can get off a little too easy, that means you may have room for a little bit of play in there. But it still has a very good fit. Do not get it wrong. It snaps on with authority. Nothing really moves, you know what I mean? But you can pop it off just a little bit easier. So when it comes to the both of these, just like I stated, man, I'm a person who likes a little bit of a snugger fit on their phone. I got to go ahead and give the check mark to Benks. I know that can really go either way depending on how you see fit when it comes to the fit of your case. I got to start dropping some of these bars, putting these things on wax. But that's what I feel like when it comes to the fit. I'll take the Benks because it's a little bit more snug. You have to fight with it. It's a little bit more to get off. And I'm an OG case person who likes to have that little bit of a fight when we are talking about coming to your cases. Now, next thing, let's go ahead and jump into price. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now, the price is gonna be even on both of these. Both of these cases, no sale pending, are gonna be 60 bucks, $59.99 for both of these. Now, I'm not saying this is gonna be a little asterisk, but I'm just letting you know, hey, some companies offer me a discount code that's always gonna be there, and that's what Benks does. So you can get this thing, I think T15. I have so many discount codes, but you know, it's gonna be linked down below. So you can get this case for 15% off. Normally, I don't have a discount code for Pitaka, so you're going to have to pay the $60 straight up. Now, I'm still going to give this an even, but I'm going to give it an asterisk because, hey, one company supports my audience a little bit better than the other. I'm just going to keep it real. You can always get this for a cheaper price with my discount code over on the Benks website. But even, I'm going to still call it even because both of these cases are sitting at 60 bucks. And that's kind of the going rate when it comes to these minimalist style, aramid, Kevlar fiber style cases. Now, the next thing that we're going to talk about is going to be MagSafe strength, because you know I'm team MagSafe everything. So let's just go ahead and pop the phone back on, and let's go ahead and bring our MagSafe charge over here. Now, if you're new to the channel, then this base right here has some weight to it, all right? This bad boy is heavy, and that's how we dictate MagSafe strength on this channel, is if it can almost, how it performs when trying to deal with this base. If you can pick it up, that means you've been in the gym. But if you can't pick it up, that means you might need to get back in the gym and work your arms out a little bit more. So let's just go ahead and check the Pitaka out. Now, as you know, Pitaka kind of toned down on their magnet strength over the years because there have been a little bit of interference with wireless charging, different things like that. So they've kind of calmed their wireless, you know, the MagSafe strength down a little bit. And with that, it isn't going to pick this base up, all right? It wants to try to pick it up, but it just can't. You know how you're on that bench, and then when you're about to get it up, you might need that little bit of a spot to get it up. That's exactly what's going on when it comes to this Pitaka, all right? It's just not going to pick it up. It needs a little bit of strength, but the magnets are still strong and confident. Don't take that as the magnets are weak. It can't perform. It doesn't do what it needs to do. The magnets are still strong. It's just on this one, I hate to already give the check mark to Benks, but it's already given. The Benks is going to be stronger, all right? They just bought the heat this year when you were talking about MagSafe strength. I mean, I'm going to put my hand down here, but you guys see that it's basically holding this up. As you see, I put my hand down here because I don't want to damage my table, but this magnet is holding this base. You're going to get the better MagSafe strength from Benks just straight up when it comes to the cases. When it comes to the Armor Pro, which is my #1 case on my top 10 list, they bring the heat when it comes to their magnets. So I got to give the check mark to Benks on this one. When it comes to the magnets, it just has stronger magnets. Let's just keep it real. You guys seen it. Proof is in the pudding right there without doing any type of scientific measurement. I know some of you guys want to get me to get a little measurement tool, and I want to do that. I just need to find the most efficient way to measure MagSafe strength. But with that being said, the Benks easily is the clear winner when it comes to MagSafe strength. Now, protection. Do we even got to talk about protection with this one? Because there's a big difference between both of these cases. Now, when it comes to the Benks, even though it's a thin case, you're going to get that top protection, all right? I know both of these basically are, if you drop your phone, listen, you might be making a trip to the Apple store because you might just be needing that Apple Care. But in the case of just little bump protection and different things like that, the Benks has the top covered, and they also have the bottom covered, aka your bald head is covered and your booty, sadly, is covered. Fellas, I know, all right? It's covered up right there. So that just gives you that extra piece of security when you're talking about using your case. It's just, you never know, like little things like this and little bumps and things. That's how you end up with little dings and little scratches across your stainless steel frame that goes around your iPhone. So anything that I can do to reduce any of that, I can kind of deal with the sides being open. And that's going to be the both for both of these cases. The sides are going to be open when it comes to your volume up and down, and your sides are going to be open when it comes to your power. But I got to give the protection, of course, to the Benks just alone, that they have it covered all the way around, especially when it comes to your bottom and especially when it comes to the top. That protection is going to be completely covered. And I just like that extra little peace of mind when I'm talking about using this case. So once again, the check mark goes to Benks for the protection. I know some of you are like, T, look, you being crazy biased right now, man. But facts is facts. That's just the way it goes. Now, this next area is where I gotta already say I have to give the check mark to Pitaka on this one, because we gotta talk about options. Now, when it comes to the Benks, and when I say options, this is the ability to get something that's a different color, you know, whether it's a different pattern or something like that. You know we giving the W to Pitaka, Because when it comes to the Benks Armor Air, this is all you're getting. You're not getting any more colors. You're not getting any more type of fancy weave patterns. That's it. One color fits all. If you don't like the black color, then you got to go to something a little bit different. If you want to go to something different, then you got to go ahead and choose the Pitaka, man, because they have this fusion weave right here. You get this little dope pixel edition that they have right there. And even though this one is for a different iPhone, of course, it's going to be an OG black. They have another fusion weave type. They have a few different limited editions that you can choose from so that you want to switch it up. You want to put a little razzle dazzle when it comes to your cases. We all like a little bit of razzle every now and then. We might not just want no boring black case. But in that case, you can kind of switch it up a little bit. And this isn't even all the options. There's still 2 or 3 more options that I can actually put up here so you can show everything that Pitaka does. So that's going to be the win to Pitaka on this category, is definitely when it comes to options. So overall, man, I think you guys already see the writing on the wall that the Benks, for me, all right, this is for me. I know everybody has their own personal preference. Once again, this is my choice. I got to give the W to Benks because of one, we got to talk about the fit. The fit is just a little bit better when it comes to the Benks. It feels a little bit more tighter. It feels a little bit more confident. That's what I like when it comes to a thin case. MagSafe strength. You already saw when it came to the MagSafe, man, this thing is picking my base up. That base is heavy. And for a thin case, that's very impressive because normally you see full cases like the Armor Pro, the Phone Rebel Gen 4, those cases that has a little bit more material to them, you feel them pick that up easy. But for a thin case to do that, very, very impressive. And then when it comes to the price, it's going to be equals. And when it comes to the protection, once again, we got to give that to Benks because simply they have the top open. I mean, they have the top closed and they have the top bottom, the top closed, the bottom closed. All right, team no script. Sometimes we make issues, but guess what? It's YouTube, man. Every video not perfect. So for the protection, I got to give it to the Benks, man, just because they have the areas are closed off. And then when it comes to the options, that's where Pitaka came back swinging when it comes to the options, and the price is going to be equal. So the winner is going to be the Benks. All right, I'm going to tell you what, though, straight up, you could say, T, you have to use the Benks. You can't use the Pitaka anymore. I would be, if you can have, you got to use the Pitaka because you can't have the Benks anymore. These names, I might have said either or throughout this video, man. If so, I'll make a correction in the edit. But if I couldn't use the Benks, I could easily use the Pitaka case. It is still one of the best. Both of these go hand in hand. This Benks just has a little bit more going for it when it comes to case. And like I said, man, it's not my fault that Benks gives me a lifetime discount code. So you can go out there and get a little bit of money off of your Armor Air. Now, right now, both of these are on sale. I think the Benks the Benks is going to be maybe like $32. The Pitaka maybe like $35. So they're both on sale, very similar. Really just pick your poison, all right? But if you're looking for the best bang for your buck thin case, I think your Benks is going to be where it's at. But if you want to also check out some more minimalistic style cases, say, T, both of these ain't my flavor, I'll pop that video right here.